comic book lovers. It is I, Chris, your broke comic book collector. Today I'm coming to you from downtown Pittsburgh at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center for the Rivers Comicon. This is the first year I've ever been able to attend this. It's their second year in the convention center. It's their, I want to say, 7th overall. So I'm really excited about going in here and checking it out. I've heard a lot of good things. There's some good artists in here. So let's go check it out. Alright, comic book lovers, I am back from the show. I wanted to film stuff while I was walking in the city, but I really couldn't because when one hand's full and the other hand's holding the camera, it's kind of hard to focus and all that stuff. So I'm almost at the hotel, so I guess when I get home I'll show you what I got. Alright, comic book lovers, I have to do this all over again because the mic wasn't plugged in. It's been about a week since that show. Ooh, there's a storm coming in. It's been about a week since that show, and I figure it's time to do the haul. And after the haul, I will tell you my thoughts on that show. And if I'm squeaking, it's because I'm on a wicker chair outside. Okay, the main reason I went wasn't for comics, it was for decorations. And they really didn't have anything that caught my eye except prints and things like that. So this one booth, I walked around and I kept going back to this booth because of these prints. And I like this art on this. This is Reverse Flash. They had Jay Garrick in this style, the same running. Then they had one with, I'm going to say it was the CW Flash and the CW Green Arrow, but I like this one better. So I picked that one up. And then Daryl Banks was there, so then I picked up, he signed it right down there, a John Stewart Green Lantern print. So I got to get I got to get a frame for that. And now as you walk into the shows, they usually have like freebies. So I picked, I don't know why I picked these up. I picked up a couple of door hangers, Green Lantern door hangers. I don't know why I did, I just did. And then I picked up this promo poster of The Flash, which is coming out soon, so I got to get tickets for that. There was an artist named Andrew Harmon, I believe that's his name, who he's a colorist, but he's never really worked on comic books. So he colored all these. He wanted $1 a piece, whether they were postcard size or the big 8.5 by 11. So I had to give him more. I picked up the Avengers. This was probably my favorite one. Wonder Woman. I had him sign. Where's he at? Oh, I had him sign all these. I really do like that Wonder Woman. Then can't get the Avengers without getting Justice League. They had another Justice League, but I didn't like the Superman on that one, or the Batman. The Batman had them long ears, which I hated. And this one caught my eye. This is probably my favorite of all of these. This is the Flash. This is in, if you remember the 70s Kenner Flash. I think it was Superpowers, I think the name of it was, which I have it, which might get hung up next to that. Now, you probably remember this book. If the artist name appears in the book, I try to have him sign it. So it had P. Craig Russell, Daryl Banks, Russ Braun, Wayne Faucher, and Andrew Pepoy. Okay, story. See if I make it quick. I went to Daryl Banks. He signed it. Then I went to Andrew Pepoy, and I asked him how much. He told me, I ain't going to charge you. So he signed the book. Well, Russ Braun was right next to him, which I had a comic for him to sign because his name does not appear in the back of this book. So I put the book down and I said, and for you, well, he just grabbed the book, opened it, and signed away. So his name's not in the back of this book, but he signed it. But I did have him sign my 6-pack dog welder, #1. He signed down there in silver. Looks really nice. So, anyway, it looks good. And then, you know how you go to these shows and they usually have like a dealer there that, I don't know, over orders all the new books and then brings all the new books and then sells them for $1. So that's what I did. Well, I stopped reading The Flash at about 750. Stories weren't, well, I probably stopped before that. The writing's not good, the art's not that great, didn't hold my interest. Well, I heard that Jeremy Adams was absolutely killing it on The Flash, so I started picking up the newer stuff. Well, now I had all these holes to fill. Well, what do you think I did with that dealer that had all these new books for $1? I got Flash 759, number 781, 782, 779, 760, 770 cover B, 763, 772. I really do like that cover. I don't know who drew it, but I do like that cover. 771 cover B, 778, 775 cover B. As you can tell, they're not in any specific order. Now this one I thought was something else when I first saw it, so I grabbed it, but I was wrong. This is Flash number 80, the deceased variant cover. I already have it. Oh well. And then I picked up Flashpoint Beyond number 0. So that's what I picked up for that. But then I was looking around at the comics. Right next to CBCS was a small dealer, and they just had a few small short boxes. So I was going through them. Well, I'll say it was a husband and wife. I don't know. But the guy got up and left, and I'm just flipping through, and I was carrying on conversations with the woman. And so I pulled this book out. I already have a copy of this book, but I looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is so much better shape than mine. So it had a price sticker on it, but it was an old grocery store price sticker. So the .00 was there, but the dollar amount was gone. So I gave it to the lady. I said, well, how much for that? She looked it over. She said, $4. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll take it. Well, I bought it, put it in my little trusty portfolio thing. And when I got back to the hotel room, I showed my wife. And I told her, there's no way this is $4. No way. So I pulled the price sticker off, the grocery store price sticker off. Well, this was underneath. Oh yeah, by the way, it's OMAC number 1. I don't know if that's coming through, but that price sticker that was underneath that was $50. They originally wanted $50 for this. So when she said $4, I was like, yes, please, I'll take it. So I got a deal on this one. Off of my list from that video, I have George of the Jungle number 1. Let me bring these over here to me. I have, Happy Days number 1. It wasn't on my list, but I should have had on my list Bionic Woman number 1. This was not on my list. This is Cartoon Network Presents number 6, Cow and Chicken. This is the first appearance of Cow and Chicken in comics. This book here was on my list. This is 4-color, number 990. First appearance of Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear, Pixie Dixie, and Mr. Jinx in comics. Now, it presents really well. I don't know if that's going to come through in the top corner. Some coverware there. I have no clue what that is down there. The staples, they're there. They're hanging on. Right here, right there, right about where my finger is. I don't know if it's going to come through, but there is a rip. So I asked the person if I could take it out of the bag. They took it out of the bag, which I prefer. And I was looking through it. Well, that rip goes through the entire book. So I asked them, all right, being that rip goes through the entire book, what's your best offer? And they said it's priced as marked. Well, I looked at it again. It presents really well, so I just went ahead and bought it. Kind of glad I did get it, because I don't see this very often. And then as I was looking around, this book was not on my list at all. Green Lantern number 48. And then I found this book. It was on my list, but not for that show. The staples are hanging in. They're hanging in there. Looks like there's some water damage and some chipping. But the first time I've ever really seen this book at a show, so I just went ahead and picked it up. This is Captain America number 109. This is the origin story of Captain America, and it's that iconic Jack Kirby cover. Wasn't on my list for that show. I did want this book. It was on my list, but yeah, I got it a little earlier than I thought I would. So I'm glad I got that book. Thoughts on the show. I did enjoy the show. It was a really nice show. I've been, when I lived in Pittsburgh, I've been in the convention center before, so I kind of knew what to expect. I would compare that show to, at least for me, to Fan Expo Cleveland. I would say it's about the same size as it. Fan Expo Cleveland had artists and celebrities. Three Rivers didn't have celebrities, which is fine because that's not my thing. But otherwise, I would compare it to that. I would compare Three Rivers to Fan Expo Cleveland. I enjoyed the show. I couldn't really enjoy the show because my wife came down with me. We got a hotel room, and I went to the show on Saturday, and she was back at the hotel room. So the whole time I'm at the show, I really just felt like I have to be back with my wife so together we can go and tour Pittsburgh, walk around, eat at all these little eateries. So it was hard to enjoy the show knowing my wife was back back at the room, and I wanted to be with her. But other than that, it was a good time, as much as you can have going to these shows by yourself. Would I go again next year? No, because before we even left for this show in Pittsburgh, we already planned our vacation for 2024. And as soon as we got done with the show, I got home, I looked it up. They already had their dates up. Well, their dates are when we're going to be on vacation, so I won't be able to go. So I'll find another show I can go to next year. So that's my thoughts on the show. If you're in Pittsburgh, well, next year, June 1st and 2nd, stop in at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center and go to the Rivers Comicon. I do recommend it. Comic book lovers, have a fantabulous day, and I'll see you in the next video.